Over your 25 years as a trainer, I'm certain you've seen both successful clients and clients that are not so successful.
Yes.
I want to ask you a question, and I want you to take a moment and think about it a little bit, okay? Is there a common trait or a common habit that the successful clients share that you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think human nature is an all or nothing response. This is how we look at life. We're either in or we're out. The people that have success don't have that approach. It has to start with tiny, tiny, tiny goals, like almost goals that you think you could achieve in a day. I think what happens in the most unsuccessful clients are the ones that have a too high of an expectation.
Okay.
And that trainer it's the responsibility of the trainer to educate and inform. So the very first thing that I always say to a potential new client is, I'm going to give you the information and the tools, and we're going to come together to talk about goals, timelines, etc. But ultimately, this does not change your success. What changes your success is whether or not you're willing to do it. And together, we have to sit down and talk about those goals and put a time frame on them. I think people have the assumption that as soon as they hire a trainer, they're going to get results. And that's just not the case, especially online, because there's not that face-to-face, that connecting. So managing expectations and the people who come in knowing and have a realistic idea of what their expectations are and decide on goals that are manageable and figure out how to get those first goals accomplished are always the ones that are successful. So I always do this. Clients will have one goal that we talk about. So we talk about one specific thing. It could be a body change thing. It could be getting married in 6 months. And the time is super important. So we talk about what we need to do to get to that goal. And we're very realistic with how much work it's going to involve on my part and theirs, as well as theirs. And then we make sure that it's not too far ahead. So if they're getting married in 6 months, I say we need to come up with a plan or a goal before that.
Sure.
So the people that are the most successful understand that it is up to them, and that there's going to be intrinsic changes before the extrinsic. And so we need to focus and concentrate on all of them. The changes that are helping, or that are changing you inside first, also need to be acknowledged and obtained. And this is through journaling. So the people that are the most successful are often people who are journaling and writing down weights, sets, how they're feeling. So then when they're feeling frustrated of the lack of results, they go back to the beginning of their journaling, whether it's the weights that have improved,
Sure.
or their mindset is improved, or the energy. I get clients to write down as much information as they possibly can. So when they're feeling frustrated that they still cannot get physically where they are,
I got you. Yep.
then they can go back to those other intrinsic and go, okay, wow, yeah, I actually am stronger, which means if you're stronger, you have more muscle, and chances are you probably are also leaner. So there are body changes. We need to manage expectations, and the client that is the most successful gets that, listens and understands. The people that are unsuccessful usually have too high of an expectation, and their goals are not achievable. And that is the responsibility of the trainer. So the most important thing is for the trainer is to educate and manage the expectations before you even start. And if those are communicated effectively, every client will have success.